There's plenty of talk on both the internet and the world of golf about Tom Kim. He is truly a remarkable talent. Many say he's an outstanding personality, a true star in the making. Everyone loves the guy and how he came out of seemingly nowhere and made his presence in the golf world felt by everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at the fast rise of Tom Kim and how he manages it. First off, here's what Kim has achieved so far. He's so far competed in 9 tour events since July, but Kim has denied all suggestions of burnout, saying he feels like a little kid at Disneyland. He's living his dream and he can't see himself getting tired of playing. It was only a few months ago he had no status at all in the US, and now he's a 2-time winner on tour next to Tiger Woods. It's an unbelievable feeling for him. At 20 years, 3 months and 18 days old, Kim clocked his second triumph 6 months earlier than Woods, who was under 3 months shy of his 21st birthday when he clinched the Walt Disney World Golf Classic in October 1996, 2 weeks after his first tour win at the Las Vegas Invitational, now the Shriners Children's Open. He is officially the first player since Tiger to bag 2 PGA Tour titles before reaching the age of 21. In other words, this guy is literally just getting started. Here's what Tiger Woods has been up to. Now about Tiger Woods. The GOAT resumed action over the weekend. Well, sort of. Woods was on hand at his short course redesign at Pebble Beach, The Hay, for the inaugural Tiger Jr. Invitational, but that didn't stop the 15-time major champion from giving us a show himself. He gave an excellent putt, and Brandel Chambly was fully convinced that he still has what it takes to win the whole thing too. One thing everyone can definitely agree on was that it was just great getting to see Tiger out there. Hopefully there'll be much more of that in the coming year. Next up, Jon Rahm gives his 2 cents. Jon Rahm had this to say about Tom Kim's impressive takeover. Look, we're not going crazy over winning the Spanish Open, but winning by 6 shots anywhere is impressive. Plus, he matched his hero Seve Ballesteros by winning his home tournament for a 3rd time and came this close to making an albatross. It's been a strange year for Rahm, who drove the golf ball like an absolute beast all year, but for now he only has this in the Mexico Open to show for it. We're going to take a guess and say he'll do better at the bigger Opens in 2023. In April the next year, Kim took his ascent to new levels by turning into the youngest ever Masters winner at Augusta, while a 23rd place finish at the US Open in June was symbolic of an impressive showing in Kim's 4th ever major outing. The South Korean manages to not get too carried away and stays humble. He spoke about it and said he wants to have a long and successful career. He knows how hard he's got to work, and for that reason he won't be letting himself be satisfied anytime soon. He knows that even though he's off to a really promising start, there are people out there who've worked hard and done more than him, so he can't afford to get complacent at all. Coming up, Kim likes staying humble. Even though people have drawn comparisons, he recognizes that he's nowhere near Tiger or any of the other greats, including McIlroy, Thomas, or Spieth. This is just the beginning, and he needs to keep working hard. He also recognizes that when it comes to his career, he's been really lucky so far. Kim's winning card equaled the record for the lowest winning score at the event since TPC Summerlin switched over to a par 71 course in 2009, as per reports by the PGA Tour, yet the 20-year-old had been locked level with Cantlay as he moved on to the final hole. Having shot a tournament best 11 under 60 on Saturday, Cantlay would see his hopes of a 9th tour victory being squashed by a disastrous triple bogey at the 18th. After that, the American golfer chose against a drop to try and play out, only for his escape shot to make it 1 yard. The American's blues were compounded when his shot then dropped into the water as Kim parred out to put the gloss in what had been a very closely fought last day. Kim said that he had only a 2-shot lead in Patrick coming at him. He knew no head start was secure. Next up, Kim gets some advice from a golf great. Rory McIlroy is known for being one of the best golfers to interview on tour. Why? All his interviewers have always gotten extremely honest and insightful answers to all their questions. McIlroy is also sort of become the tour de facto spokesman because he religiously defends it against the rival LIV Golf Tour. Before this week's CJ Cup at Congaree in South Carolina, McIlroy, the defending champion, was taking it easy. He's been doing his own thing while thinking about the state of his own playing and his chances of regaining the top spot in the world ranking. But then on Wednesday, something we didn't see coming happened. President Cup hero Tom Kim, who was present in the press room, took the mic and decided to ask the man a question. And the question was, what's it like having so much success as a young player? Coming out and many years on tour, how do you manage all that? A player asking another player a question at a press conference is actually pretty unusual, but all things considered, when you look at the background, it's actually somewhat charming. At 2021's Tour Championship, Rory McIlroy was 4 over par through his initial 2 holes. He said he remembered Kim's rough start at the Wyndham, and it gave him the drive he needed to turn the game around. McIlroy went on to win the tournament by a shot at 21 under par. So when Kim posed his question to McIlroy on Wednesday, it felt like something he genuinely wanted to know. Kim is only 20 years old at the end of the day and now ranked 15th in the world. McIlroy replied that he wasn't as successful when he was 20 and advised Kim to manage his time properly, saying that in this sport you can often be pulled in different directions. He pointed out how Kim already has 5 sponsors and he needs to realize how he made it here and not lose sight of what's really important, which is to be the greatest golf player you can be. McIlroy gave the newbie some pretty solid advice, telling him how it's actually easier to make it to number one than it is to hold that spot, which is much harder. You've always got a target on your back, and you've got to work harder as well. One high school had their golf practice rudely interrupted. The high school golf season is at its peak right now in the South. High school golfers are finally tuning their playing skills with district playoffs looming nearby. One high school team in Austin had their practice cut short a few weeks ago when they got to the Avery Ranch Golf Club, a private golf course, only to find that a local strip club was holding their annual golf tournament at the same spot, with adult dancers hardly dressed spread all over the course. According to Vista Ridge High School head golf coach and athletic coordinator Keith Allen, the high school golfers ended up bearing witness to some of the adults behaving very inappropriately. He also mentioned that the students saw some pretty lewd behavior. Honestly though, not that we're saying there's nothing wrong with what happened, the truth is that anyone who thinks a high schooler hasn't seen those types of things is in some heavy denial. But it's understandable to not want your high school golf team to have to see that. Finally, the Yellow Rose Gentlemen's Club issued an apology. The Yellow Rose Gentlemen's Club, the place the strippers were from, uploaded pictures from the event to their Instagram page and then took to Facebook to defend themselves after public outcry. Allen said the high school's golf team weren't told about the tournament and added they didn't condone these actions. Well, no one expected him to be on board with this in the first place. He's a high school golf coach. Yellow Rose Gentlemen's Club then posted a very long apology for the mishap on their Facebook page. They pointed out how they've had their annual charity golf tournament at Avery Ranch for 4 years now, the golf course in question, and nothing like this has ever happened before. They simply had no idea the golf course had also booked a high school practice at the same time, and that Avery Ranch was totally aware of what type of tournament they were having too. In all fairness, this seems like a mistake only on the golf course's end. They should have apologized for this incident. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more sports-related news. We'll see you next time.